In the miserable town of Brookville, there stood an ancient manor known as Blackwood, abandoned for decades. It was a gargantuan, brooding structure, shrouded in an eternal fog that never seemed to lift. People spoke of it in hushed whispers, warning of the darkness that resided within its cold, crumbling walls. For generations, the Blackwood Manor was a no-go zone until one day, a young and ambitious journalist named Lila decided to investigate the mysteries surrounding the manor. Lila was known for her bravery, her insatiable curiosity, and a knack for uncovering hidden truths. She believed the tales were nothing more than old wives' fears, ghost stories meant to scare off curious minds like hers. With a flashlight in hand and a bag full of recording equipment, she approached the looming house just as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an ominous shadow over the manor. The door creaked open without resistance as she stepped into the grand, forsaken hall. Time seemed to stand still as the air turned frigid, her breath visible in the beam of her flashlight. Cobwebs draped the once opulent chandeliers and torn, dusty drapes hung like ancient phantoms. The wooden floors groaned under her every step, as if they were vocalizing their disapproval. Lila began her exploration in the drawing room, where portraits of long-deceased Blackwood family members stared down at her with lifeless eyes. She felt a chill but pressed on, flipping open her notebook to jot down her observations. As she moved deeper into the manor, strange occurrences began to unfold. Unseen hands seemed to brush against her skin, whispers echoed through the corridors, and she felt an unrelenting gaze upon her back. Her recording equipment began to malfunction, catching faint voices that whispered her name. Suddenly, a door slammed shut behind her with a deafening bang. Lila's heart raced. Gathering her courage, she turned the handle and pushed the door open, revealing a hidden staircase leading down into the dark abyss of the basement. With a deep breath, she descended, her flashlight flickering with every step. The basement was a cathedral of shadows, cold and silent except for the distant dripping of water. Her flashlight caught the glint of something metallic, a chain, leading to a locked, antique chest. She kneeled, prying the chest open with trembling hands to reveal an old diary bound in leather and a faded photograph of a young girl. The diary's pages were filled with hastily scrawled entries, detailing the entrapment of a spirit named Evelyn, a Blackwood who had been wronged and sought vengeance. As she read, the room grew colder, and a chilling presence seemed to rise from the very walls. Lila looked up to see a spectral figure materialize before her, Evelyn, her eyes filled with sorrow and rage. Frozen in fear, Lila listened as the spirit's tale of betrayal and death unfolded, understanding now that the haunting was not an evil but a cry for justice. Summoning all her courage, Lila vowed to free Evelyn from her torment, to bring light to the dark history that bound her to Blackwood Manor. As the first hints of dawn began to pierce through the basement window, the spectral figure of Evelyn began to fade, leaving behind an air of hopeful release. Lila left Blackwood Manor that day with the story of a lifetime, and a promise to lift the curse that had held the manor in its dreadful grip for so long.